Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm back with another review. I'm going to do a quick unboxing and a review of the Mr. Coffee Iced Coffee Maker. I picked this up from Target and it was around $55. And I thought it was super cute. It came in a few different colors. It had a rock color, which is kind of gray, and then it's light gray. But light gray kind of looks like a baby blue. Then they have a cafe mocha and a cute cannoli cream. I opted for the black one just because it matches my color scheme. So this coffee maker claims to be a two-in-one. It's supposed to be a iced coffee and a hot coffee maker, and it does come with a tumbler. I'm going to get ready to unbox this and just see how this thing looks. So the packaging is very good. I think Mr. Coffee did a great job with packaging. Everything is tight and separated, and also it just seems like they put a lot of care in the packaging. So we have our manual, and we also have. I'm gonna just get this open. I'm gonna take this cover off and see what else is inside. So we got a little recipe book, and I think that this is pretty cool that they give you a guide on how to get started with making an iced coffee drink. If you're new to iced coffee, this book will probably be a little bit handy for you. So it does give you a guide to get started, along with a tumbler. Tumbler is pretty cool. It's pretty big, which is good. I mean, you want to sip on iced coffee for the most part of the day. At least I know I do. So I like the fact that it was a tumbler included, and we did get a coupon for some Torrenti syrup, $1.50 off, which isn't bad because you know those syrups can actually add up, especially if you collect them like I do. So let me continue with the unboxing. So it gives you a little bit of I guess a layout on how to get started with your brew. It shows you where you put your coffee in, and you know how you get started. It has a measuring spoon attached to the side. This machine is pretty light. It's actually really light. It looks well, actually it feels a lot cheaper than what it looks. It looks good to me. I like the way that it looks. It's shiny and it's matte. And it looks rather expensive. However, it does feel a little bit light and cheap. So we'll see how it goes. I know most coffee makers are kind of the same. You go ahead and put your filters in and you add your coffee and the water, and then that's it. So I'm sure this is the same thing. I don't think it's too much to it with getting you a cup brew. I'm sure it's just like any other coffee maker. At least that's the vibe I'm getting from this unboxing or getting it set up. Like I said, this ran me about $55. I don't think it's too bad for the style. I think it's very sleek, and it looks really good. I think it's gonna look good on my countertop. So I do like this spoon. It has a measuring spoon. So you have one side for your iced coffee, and then you have the bottom half, and that's for hot drinks. So it gives you the measurements on how much coffee you should use if you want to do a hot beverage or if you want to do an iced beverage, which is pretty good. It's kind of fail proof, so you shouldn't mess up your coffee. It should be error proof if you follow the measurements. So this is underneath the lid. We have our water tank, which is pretty small, and we have a filter basket where you're gonna add your coffee. The water tank is pretty small, and you're only gonna be able to get enough water for 1 cup of coffee, which is, I mean, it's a single use machine, so you have to refill your reservoir each time you brew you a cup. Like I said, the basket is pretty small. It's just enough for 1 cup of coffee or 1 tumbler size of iced coffee. So at most, for a hot cup of coffee, you can make up to 16 ounces, and your tumbler size will be about 22 ounces. So, but I guess if you drink only 1 cup of coffee, you can get 2 cups, so 16 ounces per serving size from this machine, and 22 ounces if you're gonna brew to fill up your tumbler. And over here you have your iced and hot brew button. So you get to choose which one you're going to brew. If you're going to brew over ice, or if you're going to brew a hot cup of coffee, which is pretty dope. So I like that too. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and brew me a cup and see how it goes. I've already cleaned the filter and the tumbler, so I'm just going to add some water in, and I'm going to add some coffee to do a cup of iced coffee and see how everything tastes. And this reservoir is so small. I just can't believe how small this thing is, but what do you expect for the size? It's a compact machine. So I'm going to use my coffee and I'm going to follow the measurements from the spoon and see how everything goes. So my machine is locked and loaded with the water in the reservoir and the coffee inside of the filter basket. So I need to put some ice inside of my tumbler, and I'm going to select brew over ice. So I'm hoping that this coffee doesn't come out too hot where it just melts the ice and water down the coffee, but we'll see. I'm going to be optimistic. Hopefully it brews at a pretty good temperature where I don't have watered down coffee. We'll see. So the brew is complete, and a lot of the ice did melt. And what I'm hoping is that this kind of mimics the Ninja coffee bar, because I know that the Ninja coffee bar comes out hot as well. And even with the ice melting, the brew is still very strong and you still have a good cup of iced coffee. So let me see. I don't really think that this is the case because it looks really watered down, but I'll taste it and doctor it up and see and let you know. I'm adding a splash of creamer. This is already sweet creamer, even though it's zero sugar, it is very sweet, so I don't need too much. And like I said, the coffee already looks watered down, so I'm not going to add too much. I'm going to just give it a good stir, and I'm going to go ahead and taste it and see what it tastes like. So just as I expected, the coffee came out pretty weak. It's not as strong as I would have hoped for. But again, you brew hot coffee over ice. What do you expect? For the coffee to melt, the ice to melt and the coffee to get watered down. So it's okay. I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to go ahead and doctor it up and add in some Truvia and still drink it. But I would say if you are going to make an iced coffee using this machine, I would not recommend brewing the coffee over ice. I will brew it as usual, and then I'll put the coffee in the refrigerator and allow it to cool, and then add my ice to it. So that way you can have a pretty solid cup of iced coffee. If not, you're going to be drinking, I would say this reminds me of the gas station iced coffee, if you ever tried that. So $55, not too bad, but I think you can keep your money or use the coffee machine that you already have. I don't think it's really worth going out and buying if you don't already have a coffee maker. If you have a coffee maker, use what you have and just put your coffee in the refrigerator. But I don't think you need to go out and actually purchase this machine unless you want to. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.